Okay, great. So, previously in our Tyranny of Dragons campaign, you were traveling through the Mirror of Dead Men following Roscoe's magical compass, and you've encountered this clearing with trees covered in webbings. And after some investigation, you realized there were giant spiders all around that clearing with 3 or maybe more cocoons up in the trees. At this point, the party split, with Roscoe heading to a different direction to investigate this glitter on the ground. You found a snake-like creature feeding on the corpses of dragon cultists, and you basically decided at this point to return to your friends who were fighting the giant spiders. So after killing the giant spiders and facing off with this snake-like creature, you managed to get him to lower his weapon and talk. He simply told you that he is a part of the Sibilant Death clan who reside in this mirror, and that they are the enemies of the dragon cultist. From the cocoons, you managed to extract 3 living dwarfs. All the rest of the cocoons were kind of filled with dead corpses or other stuff. And those 3 dwarfs, their names were Erag, Wolvar, and Hum. They told you that they are simply travelers, and they were trying to be kind of secretive about what they're doing in the mirror. And basically, we ended up last session with all of you standing with the dwarves, and I think Thokk, you found like the cask of ale that they were seeking, and with Seth, the UNT, basically facing off, facing the dwarves, and that's where we stopped last time. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something.
No, that's pretty much everything. We were, Seth was going to lead us to another way into the keep.
Yes, he told you that he's familiar with the way that leads to the keep, and the dwarves, they were kind of interested to hear what he has to say, but you can see that they don't trust him a bit. They kind of try to back away from him, and they basically are searching for their cask. You don't see any other interesting equipment on them, but they are kind of dressed to do some burglary work. You can see that they have like leather straps and all kinds of tools stuck inside those straps, but they don't have any other equipment that will allow them to survive for a long time in the mirror.
I believe we learned that from Seth that there's a portal possibly in the basement of the to a place or a plane where Roscoe's family might be located, or at least Roscoe kind of believes this for some reason. So
okay. So you basically see those dwarves. They kind of toss every rock, and they turn the dead corpses of the spiders, and they kind of grumbling and angry for not finding their cask, which is obviously like the only supply that they have with them. And Seth kind of looks at them in disbelief. So what do you want to do?
Is the cask open or is it sealed?
The cask you found is sealed.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a thump and see if it sounds full of liquid, or if there's something else inside it.
So yeah, it sounds full, and when you kind of thump it, you actually see that at the bottom of it there is this wooden engraving which says Bellbuck Cask number 3. You can roll well, not actually, you're a bard, so you're very familiar with taverns and inns. You know that this is a very popular halfling brew served in Waterdeep.
Okay.
At this point, the dwarf, two of the dwarves, kind of begin to get really anxious, and they turn to the third and says, "Well, do you still have it?" And he kind of reaches out into a pocket and nods. And the first to say, "Well, maybe we can forget about the cask." And then one of them turns to you, Thokk. He says, "Are you in or out?"
In or out of what? Let's all sit down and have a drink and talk about it. And I hold up the cask.
Okay, so his eyes kind of light up, and he says, "Oh, wonderful! You found it!" And he kind of licks his lips and looks at you, Roscoe, and says, "We got it at Waterdeep. It's Halfling brew. Want to taste?"
Sure. I'm really tired though. Hopefully we can find some place to go to sleep near here. Seth, do you know this area pretty well? Is there a safe place to sleep?
He nods and says, "There's a blessed tree nearby."
That sounds good. Who is it blessed by? Who is it blessed for?
Blossom.
Who's Blossom?
And he kind of moves his head toward the direction he wants you to follow. The dwarves kind of stay planted where they are, and one of them kind of like elbow you and says, "Are you gonna trust that snake thing?"
For now. And I'll shoulder the keg and follow Seth.
They look at each other and kind of form this triangle of dwarfs, lower their heads, and they kind of mumble to each other. So Thokk and Roscoe follow Seth.
Yeah, I'll tell the dwarves. You know, guys, we just saved your lives here like a minute ago, and if where we're going is dangerous, I'd like to have you there to help out. I think you owe us a favor. Or three.
One of them kind of pops his head up and says, "Well, if you put it this way, yes, we do owe you a debt of a sort, so yes, we'll accompany you to a point. But when business calls, we'll have to split up."
Of
I
course.
mean, when you got to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, sort of. And you can see that Erag and Wolvar, two of them are kind of, they each take a side and position themselves in kind of flanking Hum, the dwarfs who always try to tell you what they're doing, and they were shushing him. And Hum is kind of, he puts his hands in his pockets, and they kind of weave elbows and follow you and Seth.
And who was it that they asked if he still had it? Was that
Hum.
that was Hum?
Yeah.
Okay.
The dwarf with his hands in his pocket. So you are following Seth for a while, and Roscoe, also Thokk, you do realize that the creature is taking you through a long route that does seem like the land is less spongy, and this constant mist that covers everything kind of recedes, and you are in a healthier place of the mirror. Let's call it this way. At this point, I need you all to roll a perception check. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it turns out that while Seth is continuing his walk and the dwarves are like 10 steps behind you, you two, both Thokk and Roscoe, spot this beautiful tree that stands in a small clearing with like 3 rays of sunshine that touches him. It's the first rays of sunshine that you've seen throughout your stay in the Mere. The tree is like deep green. Its foliage is very, very heavy, and its bark is healthy looking and thick. There's a hole in the middle of the tree, like a natural one, and you can see like 2 glittering eyes inside of it. All this scene is like almost otherworldly, and you can hear Devlin kind of takes a deep breath, but you don't think he's spotted the eyes inside of the tree. What you also spot is 5 draw elves kind of positioned around the tree, with one of them holding a knife and kind of cutting the bark, and as he does that, you can see like this golden liquid that pours out of the cut. It isn't a pleasant sight.
Well, I like this at all. The drow are circling the tree?
Yes. And you believe that the draw with the knife is talking to the face inside of the tree, or at least to the 2 eyes.
Do we recognize these drow?
So since you rolled so high on your perception check, you don't recognize them, but the one that does the talking has like this family resemblance to Renil. You at first thought that maybe it is Renil, but then you realized it's a male, but he does have similar features, same nose, same I don't know, eyes.
Hey, are you Renil's brother?
They all turn to you, and you can see that the eyes within the T kind of blink and disappear. And this draw, obviously he's a soldier or a warrior, you can see by his weapons and armor, turns around and says, "Why, yes, I am." "And who might you be?"
I'm Roscoe. I'm friends with Renil. Has she told you about me?
"Roscoe, the halfling from Baldur's Gate. Yes, she did mention something of a sort. Oh, and the half-orc and the Dragonborn. Yes, she did tell me something about you." And he smiles.
She said we were friends, right?
"Oh yes, most beloved and important friends, of course."
So what'd the tree ever do to you?
"Oh, the tree has done nothing, but the dryad inside of it is unwilling to cooperate."
Cooperate how?
"Well, you see, there is a dragon in the Mere, a black one, and we are hunting for it. I'm sure Enil told you about the dragon eggs that are hidden here, that were hidden here."
It's not a blue dragon, right?
He says, "A blue one, no. That was Renil's task. I'm after the black one." And then he smiles again. "Oops. I've
What?
said something that I shouldn't have."
What do you mean the blue one? Which blue one?
"Oh, I don't know. The one that was stuffing his nose into business that don't belong to him in Waterdeep and Baldur's Gates.
You don't mean Lenathon.
Oh, so that was his name. I don't know. They all look the same to me.
You should leave him alone.
Oh,
He's
yeah, I'm listening. Sorry.
no, he's fighting the dragon cult from the inside. Oops, I shouldn't have said that.
He says,
It's a secret. Don't tell anybody, though.
he laughs and says, "Oh, I don't think he's fighting anyone now." And then he smiles again, and Thokk, you notice that he kind of marks to his men to kind of spread out. Well, you see, Renil managed to find him. She was using a very special crystal, she told me.
Yeah, my crystal.
Oh, it was yours, I see. Well,
It is mine.
perhaps. I do believe you. So, this crystal apparently led her to the hideout of this blue dragon. Anything you say, hey? Interesting. And so she managed to get rid of him. You see, dragons are very evil creatures and they are very dangerous. They can persuade someone to do almost anything.
You know, people say the same thing about drow.
Oh, obviously mistaken. This is like we have been keeping the peace from below, fighting all sorts of evil, dragons especially. And as it turns out, there is a black dragon living right here in the mere. And then he turns to the tree again and says, "Right, Blossom," and he kind of does another cut on the tree.
I like to telepathically speak to Thokk and just ask, they're evil. What are we gonna do? I'm tired, but I could punch him in the face if we have to.
I think that sounds like an excellent idea.
Behind you, you can see the dwarves mumbling again. "What dragon? There's a dragon here. Oh, there's the treasure. Then we can go and pick the treasure. And then, well, what are we going to do with these guys? So let's simply get out of here quietly. Maybe take one of the draw." So they kind of talk and making plans behind your back.
How does Seth seem to feel about this abuse of the tree?
He looks at you basically, and he's, you know what? Make an insight check.
20.
So with that, you think that he's not sure if you are friends of the draw or not. He kind of, you think he's restraining himself from attacking because he doesn't want to be caught like, flanked between you and the draw. So he's kind of, waiting.
Okay, I'll send him a message telepathically, and I'll say, they're evil. They stole my rock. They killed my friend. We should fight them.
He nods and then charges. So I need you all to make initiative rolls. Okay, Thokk with 11. Thokk with 11.
I rolled twice for no reason. First roll was a 14.
Okay, so a 14 for Roscoe. I think one of you can roll for Tal and Devlin. You have access to their character sheets.
I do not.
Oh, okay. So I'll do that in a minute.
I don't either.
Okay.
So, Will, do you want to take one? I'll take the other.
Sounds good.
let's see. So
Which one do
here's-
you want?
If you want, I'll take Devlin because I've done a Warlock in other campaigns, so I've got a fairly good idea how they function.
okay.
Okay, I'll take Tal then.
So I'm giving permission to Thokk for Devlin, and so you should be able to control his character now. I'll do the same for Tal with Roscoe. Roscoe.
Their
Okay.
character sheet should show up on my.
Do you see it?
Do not see their character sheet.
Okay, so you should be seeing it now.
Now I've got it. Okay.
Okay, I'll do the same for done. Okay, so Ben, you should be able to see.
I do.
Okay,
I can see him.
great. So roll initiative for them too.
Oh, not so good. We both rolled 3s.
Okay. So 5 for Tal and Devlin. It was what, 6? Okay. And the draw, they have okay, quite high. And Seth, someone rolled. Well, I'll do that. Okay. So Seth is going to the throat of one of the draws. He simply tries to claw him twice, scoring a hit on one of those attacks and drawing first blood from the draws. This is amazing. 4 and 5. Okay, so Seth is locked in a fight with one of the draw warriors, and it's their turn now. So Thokk, one of them approaches you, and he draws a hand crossbow and releases a bolt. He hits armor class 21 with that bolt. Sorry, 20.
Just barely got me.
Just barely got you. So you are in for 6 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Another draw does the same for Roscoe, but he rolled a natural 1, so the bolt kind of whizzes above you.
15 on the save.
15 on the save, so you kind of feel dizzy for a while, but then your orcish blood kind of rejects the poison, and you're okay. So just the damage. Another draw shoots Tal and hits armor class 18.
That hits Tal.
Okay, so this time it's 8 points of damage and another Constitution saving throw.
So 13.
13 is good, a success. Okay, so same effect for him. The last one, not the last one, the fourth draw tries to he can't use his hand crossbow, so he reverts to his short sword and he attacks Seth and rolls a natural 1. Another draw is, so we have like 5 of them, so 4 of them already, 3 of them made their attacks. The fourth misses Devlin with a bolt, and Renil's brother draws a short sword and approaches you, Roscoe, and says, Renil always had a soft spot for the small kind. I will fix that now with your permission. And he attracts you, hitting and 27 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, so you take that's only 3 points of piercing damage. But you also take an additional 6 from his poison-covered blade.
Yeah, and I'm already injured from the last fight, so this isn't going to last too long for poor Roscoe, but he's still up.
Okay. Thokk, sorry, Roscoe, it's your turn.
Ugh. Okay, I'd like to telepathically, or maybe, say out loud to the dwarves, it's favor time!
Okay. Got
the
it.
dwarves don't have weapon or armor at this point, do they?
Correct.
I guess I'm gonna try and hit the guy, Renil's brother, in front of me.
Okay.
15 to hit.
A 15 is a hit.
Okay, so that's 10 piercing.
Okay. So that's actually a mighty blow. He buckles from the pain, and he watches his blood kind of flow as he tries to cover the wound with his hand.
Okay, I'm going to spend a key. Not sure what I'm spending it on. It's like kind of a toss-up. I think Flurry of Blows. So 2 unarmed strikes.
Okay.
First one, 24 to hit
Yes.
for 8 damage.
Oh.
That was nice. And second one, 23 to hit
Amazing.
for 7 damage.
Oh my god. So you punch and kick and thrust with your spear, leaving the draw warrior kind of reeling from the injuries and pain. He obviously underestimated you, and he takes a step back to regain his footing.
Okay, I'd like him to make a strength saving throw, 2 of them, DC 12.
So he strength. Wait a minute. So he succeeded one and failed the other.
Okay, so I knock him 15 feet back.
Wait, what is the DC?
So
12.
with
Okay, yeah.
12.
Yeah, that's fine. So
So with my last kick, I just knock him back into, somewhere 15 feet.
okay, amazing.
And then I have a speed of 35.
Okay.
So I would like to go 35 feet in the opposite direction so that it would be difficult for him to reach me next turn.
Okay.
But also in such a way that I'm not taking any opportunity attacks because I'm quite injured. And I'm going to try and take cover behind a tree or in a bush or something like that so that it's, I'm not out in the open.
Okay. You want to make a high check?
Sure.
Okay, great. So that was Roscoe. The 3 dwarves will rush forward and kind of form this line in front of you. And one of them turns back to you and says, a weapon, a shield, ale, something.
To Roscoe?
Yeah.
Man, what do I have in my inventory? Not a hell of a lot. I have a dagger.
Okay.
So I can pass a dagger. I can pass a torch.
That's fine.
So yeah, I'll chuck them a couple of torches, my tinderbox, and my dagger.
Okay, so 2 of them light up torches, and one of them is now holding a dagger, and they are standing in front of you, kind of waiting for the draw to get near before they attack. Which lead us to Thokk's turn.
Okay. I'm going to knock Hum to the ground,
Okay.
saying, "Get down, you fool! You don't have, you don't have any of your weapons or armor." And when I do so, I'm going to remove whatever it is he has in his pocket that he checked on.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check. Oh, amazing.
Nice.
That's super nice. So, Thokk, you now hold what is considered one of the most sought after treasures by rogues and thieves and burglars, but also one of the most dangerous artifacts by wizards. You now hold a portable hole in your hand.
Okay, I'm going to slide it in my pocket.
Okay.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to throw Roscoe a healing word.
Okay, that's great.
So that will be, and I'm going to do that at second level. So that's 7 points back for you.
So would it be like 10 actually? This is the 7 plus the 3?
No, it's 7 total. It's oh wait, no, it'd be a total of 10. I'm sorry.
Ah, that feels really nice.
Great. So, Thokk, you now have this. It feels like a silk soft cloth, and it's folded. It's like a handkerchief, very slicky. And later on I'll send you the exact details. But you have it now. And Hum, the dwarf, who now lies like face down on the spongy earth, his torch kind of sizzles, and he tries to get up and says, "Oh, what have you done? It's all wet now. It'll take me another 5 minutes to light it up." And he seems oblivious to the fact that you just robbed him. Okay, Devlin's turn comes up next.
Okay, Devlin is going to target the drow that shot at him.
Okay.
And cast Witch Bolt.
Okay, great. So that's 6 to hit, right?
Hang on.
Yeah, looks like a crit fail.
Okay, so the draw ducks.
Yeah, he missed.
No, that's fine. The draw ducks beneath this bolt and kind of reload his hand crossbow. You want Devlin to do anything else?
Yeah, he's gonna duck behind a tree for partial cover.
Great. So he does that. So he's got like the +2 to AC. What is Tal doing?
I think he's gonna charge up to Rainiel's brother.
Okay.
Cut the snake off at the head first. And Chameleon, he's gonna roll a 9 to hit.
Okay.
Critical fail on that.
Yeah, which is blocked by the draw, even though he is kind of dazed.
Then for his offhand attack, 19 to
A
hit
much better hit. Yes, this one goes right in.
for 6 damage.
Okay. So Renee's brother kind of bleeds from yet another gash. Anything else you want Tal to do? Ben? Guys?
18 only.
Oh, sorry, I lost like 30 minutes of audio. So after taking 6 damage from Tal, I was asking if you want to do anything else.
Yes, I am to action surge.
Okay.
And then attack again. And with a 13 to hit only.
Okay. So that was dodged. Reneel's brother kind of blocked it with his blade. Okay. Anything else?
That's all.
That's all. Great. So on Seth's turn, he tries to bite the draw, kind of claw and bite, and scores 2 hits with an unmodified double 17 on the dice. Nice. So he bites the draw, who shrieks, and that's damage, and now poison damage. Okay. So one of the draws, the one in front of Seth, goes down, spasming on the ground. Obviously, Seth has bitten him and has some sort of poison attack of its own. So this is Seth. The draw. So Renil's brother lifts a hand, and this orb of pure darkness engulfs him and Tal, who is like next to him. But all the rest of you, since you're not close to the draw, you simply see this like half circle, half sphere of darkness where the draw stood. Then you hear no, you don't actually. Let me just see. Okay, so you can hear Tal and the draw kind of fight inside. Sometimes Tal is shouting, crying out in pain, sometimes the draw, but you don't see anything. The 3 remaining draw, one of them shoots another bolt at Roscoe, and he scored a critical hit this time, 20 on the die.
I will use deflect missiles to reduce the damage.
Okay. So do you need to do anything, or is it simply an
I
on-off?
roll. I reduce the damage by 10.
You need to roll something for it?
I did.
Okay, great. So we're supposed to take that's 6 plus 4, because it's like timed twice. 10 points of damage, but if you reduced it by 10, then you take no damage.
He catches the missile.
Yeah, and actually it also saved you from taking the poison damage, or actually the poison save, because the arrow didn't hit you.
Oh, okay. I can spend a key point to chuck the arrow back at the person who shot it to me.
That's cool.
I think I'll do that.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'll do. It's my last point, so I'm sort of like, but yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So it's basically an unarmed strike to hit.
Oh yeah.
So a 23 to hit.
Amazing.
And then whatever damage.
Roll 1d6 plus 2, and 1d6 plus whatever you are adding to your range attacks. But he also needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
So 10 damage.
If it's the sleep poison, drow are immune.
It's it's just being poisoned unless he fails by 5 or more, and then he is unconscious. Cool. So let's see if he. Oh yeah, he failed, but not by 5 or more. So he's poisoned now. I think that means disadvantages and all kinds of nice stuff. How many damage points? Oh, you did 10 points of
10.
damage. Okay, so he takes the arrow and watches you in disbelief, and then you can see that his eyes kind of become blood red from the poison that is coursing through his veins. He doesn't look good at all. 2 of the other draw fire bolts at Devlin, because Tal is out of their sight. And both of them miss with a 1 and a 5 on the die. Ending the draw's turn, and we are back at Roscoe.
I can't see what's going on in the dark cloud around Renil's brother. So, do I have enough movement with 35 feet to get up to the guy that I just poisoned?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so I'm just going to go up to him and try and stab him. And fail
Okay.
critically at doing so.
Okay. You're spending any more attacks?
I get 1 bonus strike.
Okay.
So, a 14 to hit?
14 doesn't hit the draw. Wait, sorry, 13. His armor class is 13, so you're in. Yes, sorry. 7 points of damage. So you drop it. Drop him. Sorry, he's down, dead.
I punch him right in his. I poke his red poisoned eyes out.
Exactly. Okay, 1 gone. 2 gone actually. Seth dropped one of them. You dropped the second. Anything else you want to do, Roscoe?
I will, duck behind a tree or something if there's one nearby.
Okay.
For cover.
Great. So the 3 dwarves now holding 1 torch, 1 dagger, and 1 unlit torch, point at the globe of darkness and say, "Well, we have torches. Let's light up the place." And then they run inside the black orb of darkness, which obviously the torches does nothing to. And one of them is shouting, "Who turned out the lights?" But they do try to attack someone there, obviously with
Poor
this.
Tal.
They all roll with disadvantage, so yeah. You can see a ruckus inside this globe of darkness, but nothing more than that. Thokk, your turn.
I really don't like the guy that cast the darkness, so I'm going to cast a silence
Oh, great.
centered on his darkness,
Okay.
which is my last 3rd level spot.
Okay. Let me just check something.
It won't affect any existing spells, but he won't be able to cast any more until he gets out of the.
Correct. No, but I'm not checking that. Okay. Yes. Okay. Great. So we have silence there. Great. Anything, and then you run for cover. That's fine.
Yeah, do I see anybody else who's visibly hurt?
Yes. Well, no. There are 2 draws that have just fired Devlin and have missed, and they are unhurt.
Okay, then let's see. I've got to be able to see someone for inspiration.
You do have Seth in sight and Roscoe.
Yeah. I'm going to shout excellent job at Roscoe 2 more, and throw him an inspiration die.
Okay.
Thanks, Thokk.
Which is a D6 you can add to any roll, attack, save, or damage, or if need be, you can add it to your AC. 1 round.
Nice.
Okay. It's Devlin's turn then.
And Devlin is going to cast Eldritch Blast at the drow that he missed last time.
Okay. An 11
And
doesn't
continue,
hit. Yeah.
And continue to do poorly.
Okay.
Wow, that tree is so far out. Dude, this is like, what an experience.
The sun got in my eyes, man.
Awesome. What is Tal doing? He can try and attack the draw, but since he can't see anything there, he simply guesses its location, and you can simply roll, I think, with a disadvantage.
Okay, yeah, I think, because I'm trying to think, like, would Tal have the sense to step out of the darkness and go for someone he can see? I think Tal probably would not. I feel like Tal would just try and be pissed off at that one guy. So with disadvantage, a 9, critical fail.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't hit anything inside the darkness. Okay.
And he'll swing again with his offhand attack.
Yeah.
Well, with
that-
disadvantage, 25 still
Amazing.
hits.
Yes. So you can hear him hit the draw. Roll for damage. 9.
9.
Great. Okay. We're back to Seth's turn, and he simply pounces on the one who attacked Tal the previous round, and both of his attacks, a 16 and a 15 unmodified, go in. Damage. Ooh, a lot of damage. So yeah, damage only. Didn't even have a chance to inject his poison. Another draw falls down. Which brings us to the draw turn. So the last one standing kind of looks left and right and bolts to the forest, to the mirror. And okay, you know what? Let's do it this way. The darkness dissolves, and you can see Tal kind of dragging by his collar an unconscious draw from where he fought him with. The 3 dwarves are seen nearby striking trees. Like, tuck, 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 we got him. And then when the lights go on, they kind of look at each other and, they straighten up their clothes and stride behind Tal. What do you want to do? Seth kind of approaches the draw and says, "Should I slay him?"
I've got no problem.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. He lifts a finger, a claw, actually.
Wait.
And he stops in midair.
I have an idea. Maybe we should find out what the drow are doing with those dragon eggs.
Okay.
What do you think, Thokk?
Sure.
I mean, he probably won't tell us, but maybe he will. Who knows?
So do you wake him? Kind of rouse him from his...
Well, let's, sort of take his weapons away first.
Okay.
And his money, and his clothes, and his shoes.
Great. So you find several things on him. First is his blade, along with a vial of draw poison, which is kept inside a black velvet sack. You know that if you expose it to light, it might simply stop functioning. But you have this draw-made short sword and like a dose or two of poison. In addition to that, you find a set of calligrapher, I think it's pronounced this way. It's like a kit with ink and a bunch of quills and feathers. Some of the parchments have already maps on them. You think that he was mapping the mirror as he was traveling through it.
Oh, so cartographer supplies, like map making.
Yes.
Okay.
Cartographer, sorry. Calligrapher is like letters?
Yeah, that's fancy printing.
Okay, sorry. And he also have like a silver-made spider amulet that identify him as a noble belonging to House Melarn. You also know that Renil belongs to this house. Her name is Renil Melarn. When you kind of touch him and strip him of his belongings, You also find 2 silver trade bars, each worth 250 gold pieces. And as he wakes up, you can see that one of his eyes is made of stone. It's like white stone.
Take it.
Yeah, you pluck his stony eye from his socket.
Yes.
Okay, so you can write that you have Malago's stone eye. Malago is his name. I'll write it down for you. Yeah, it's like double A's everywhere, but that's fine. He shrieks as you do that, and he says, because it is painful, but then he says, "Oh, well, maybe it's time to leave those memories behind." And he kind of chuckles faintly behind bleeding lips. "Well, I assume you want me to lead you to the dragon's lair, don't you?" And the dwarves kind of pop as he says that. "Dragon, lair, yes, treasure." And then they turn to Hum and say, "You still got it, yes?" And he puts his hands in his pockets and turns pale. Anything you want to do?
I'm gonna walk over to the tree. And just in common say, "Do you need healing, lady?"
So you hear this melodic voice kind of coming out of the tree, and she says, "Yes, please."
And I'll cast a healing word on the tree.
Okay. Let me just find something. How many points of damage did you heal?
7.
Okay. 7 points. Okay. So you can see this glimpse of a feminine face kind of blinking from within that hole in the tree. It kind of looks fey or elven, but you can see that her hair and features are all leafy green and very, very pleasant. She doesn't emerge from the tree, but she does smile as the healing power of your spell kind of courses through her tree. The dwarves start kind of losing it, for obviously losing one of their prized possessions. And Malago kind of looks at all of you as if you are all crazy.
Now, well, you're lucky that Renil was my friend. That's why you're still alive. Now, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next is we're going to have a conversation. But it's not really a conversation. It's going to be a conversation where I ask you a question, and then you answer my question. And then we're going to repeat it until I run out of questions.
He says, "Very well, you have the upper hand. I am at your mercy. I will do anything you ask me to."
Okay. First question. Why were you hurting that tree lady over there?
It is because I am seeking the treasure of the dragon. And as he says that, the dwarves kind of forget that they don't have their portable hole and kind of get really close by to listen. And he says, "I am the only one who is familiar with how to get into his lair. But I just wanted some intel, if you want to put it this way. The dryad knows the ways of this forest."
Okay. Question number 2. What are you doing with the dragon eggs once you collect them?
He smiles and says, "Well, we destroy them, obviously. It is a thing of evil, and we don't want any evil lurking around in the surface or beneath it."
Okay, I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
He says, "You are doing me wrong. We are only acting on behalf of our people to keep the peace. Dragons are roaming the land, searching for treasures, gold, jewelry, magical items. They are hoarding it in their lairs for an unknown purpose. They are united, and so we are fighting it." And to his words of gold, magical items, and gems, you can see the dwarf kind of edging even closer.
First of all, that's stereotyping. Not all dragons are the same. Lenathon was not like that.
I am very sorry for your friend, but this was Renil's work, not mine. She deceived you all the way. I am simply doing my job. You know that in the Dwarf Society, it is the female who makes all the big decisions.
There's something that I don't understand. Well, more than one thing, but if all you want to do is destroy the eggs, why are you collecting the eggs first?
Well, we have
You
to...
can just destroy them right there. It's a lot quicker.
That is correct. You are very perceptive. You see, we had to persuade the dragons to reveal as much information as possible. So we collected what they think of as their prized possessions, their eggs. Once we have a dragon's egg, it will do almost anything to protect it, even sell his own kind to us. This is what we did. We collected eggs. And thus we have learned about the dragon cultists' plans to hoard a mountain of treasure. A golden mountain topped with jewelry and rubies and books of the arcane and kegs of ale everywhere. I am the only one who knows how to get there, to the mighty trove of treasure that sits under this very earth. And then the dwarves basically lose it, and they kind of push you aside, or try to, if you resist, and kind of try to unbound or free him, and take us there, we're ready to go.
No, hey, stop. Dwarves. Ham, hum, him, hem.
Thokk, at this point, the dryad, she kind of, like, only the tip of her nose kind of leaves the hole in the tree, and she looks at you and says, "You have been cursed."
How?
And she says, "Give me your hand."
I'll reach my hand out.
So she presses her delicate greenish hand on yours, and her fingers touch the black stain, the ink-like stain that you have been bearing since you've awoken in the Mere of Dead Men. And she concentrates and says, "You have died, but brought back to life. But it wasn't a force of good that brought you back. It was a force of evil. You and your friends are in a grave danger."
How do we cure this?
She says, "There is a wizard in the cultist's castle. He is constantly bowing above a tome of arcane might. And she says, the tome operates the portal beneath the castle. In the tome, the secret of your curse lies." And then she says the name of the tome, which you already heard this name. I will. Damn it. So you guys, if you remember the book name that Azil was concerned about, I think it was the Gates something. You don't remember? I don't blame you.
No, I don't think I have it.
Oh, Beyond the Iron Gates. Yes, it's it's a tome that you have learned about when you visited Mordai's mansion just before he kind of handed you, and you were all transported to this hellish plane. He was reading pages from this book called Beyond the Iron Gates that led you to this strange adventure in the outer planes. So she says, Blossom basically says that in the castle, a red wizard is poring over that same tome, and that tome has something to do with your curse.
Okay. Thank you very much, my lady.
And she recedes back into the tree and says nothing more. Malago laughs at the dwarf's reaction and says, and looks at you also, Roscoe, and says, "Well, I can lead you if you want. We can sneak into the dragon's lair. The dwarves can have all the treasure they want. I simply want to put an end to this creature's life. One less soldier in the army of the Dragon Queen."
Well, if you couldn't stand up to the 9 of us, I doubt severely you'll be able to stand on your own before a dragon.
Well, with the 9 of you, we will stand a great chance. Also, some things tell me that we have a trio of master burglars in our small company. And he winks at the dwarf, who kind of blush from the compliment, and seems like oblivious to the fact that this is a drow elf. They smile and rub their hands and seems to have forgotten all about their portable hole. For now, probably.
I'm not trusting this guy at all.
I don't. You haven't played the game correctly. You were supposed to answer all my questions with the truth, and I don't believe that you did.
Well, I have done my best. If you have any more questions, ask them. I will answer to the best of my ability. Now that I am free from my sister's manipulative ways, I can be a valuable asset to you. I know the ins and outs of this mare, and I can lead you to whatever you want. Wherever you want. You want out?
We have a guide already. We don't need you for that.
He looks at the... You point at Seth at this point, or...?
I don't point.
Okay.
I just announce that we have a guide.
He kind of looks about and he says, well, the dwarf seems to have no idea where they are going. And this creature, well, I wouldn't trust a UNT.
Same can be said for drow.
I don't know. UNT are alien in mind. They see things very differently from ours. What you perceive as a friend, as an ally, he might perceive you as his next lunch. I have no such intentions. I wish to keep you alive as long as possible.
Then why did you try to kill us before?
Well, I believe that, I didn't. You were the one attacking me. I was simply conducting a very successful interrogation. It is you who drew his first blood, and you who drew the weapons.
And you that was torturing the spirit of the tree.
Well, sometimes the means justify... The cause justify the means.
Rarely do good causes require such means.
Oh, I simply lay some unharmful scars on her bark, were easily healed. And you know that dryads are very dangerous. You think for yourself why a dryad would reside in a place so dreary like this. She's surrounded by death. She isn't to be trusted either. But me, I have told you the truth. I have told you my mission. You maybe even know my sister and her manipulative way. I assure you, my intentions are pure.
We saved your sister's life, and so far we haven't killed you, even though you attacked us. How much money does your family have?
Oh, my family is very rich, but they won't pay a penny for my corpse, or for my living self, I'm sorry to say. This is how things are done. But if we are to return to my city with the skull of a black dragon, well, things will look a lot different for both you and I. I sense that you are here to maybe spy on the cultists' camp, yes?
We're here while we're here. Question, does this black dragon have eggs?
Well, not anymore.
But it did have eggs.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we're talking about an adult black dragon.
He smiles. An adult black dragon that might not be in his lair when we storm it. And he smiles and winks at the dwarves. You see that the dragon and the cultists don't mix up very good. While they are in an alliance, they seem to have some disagreements. We could make a ruckus in the cultists' camp, cause the dragon to head over and investigate and invade his lair while he's not present. It's the safest plan. But I do need great burglars and some fierce warriors to pull this one off. I think that between the four of you, the three of the dwarfs, myself included, we are good to go.
What do you know about the dragon? What do you know about the eye in the sky? What do you know about the castle? Have you ever been there?
Oh, I have laid eyes on it. Yes, it has this strange astronomical device attached to its roof. A dome made of crystal with a large tube and a mirror fixed within it. I believe the elves who built the castle used it to observe the sky.
Have you been in the castle? Have you made a map of the castle?
I only made a map of it surrounded. It's heavily guarded by bullywogs and troglodytes and all kinds of monstrosities. Not to mention the cultists themselves. But I did hear that the dragon lair contains a secret passage to the castle. If this is the way, if that's where you want to go, I think that heading to the dragon's lair is your best bet.
I turn to Seth and say, is your cave guarded by a dragon?
And he says, no, we don't approach this dragon.
Well, then I think we have a safer way in already, my friend. So I guess the last question is, are you prepared to die?
The draw says, your guide. The UNT is your guide. He will lead you to one place and one place alone, to his clan's pots above a fire, to be sacrificed for some unknown reptilian god. Did he tell you what his clan name is?
It did come up.
Well, please, make the rational choice. We are all warm-blooded creatures and living in this world. Let's not make friends with creatures who might have goals and understandings and a mentality totally different from our own.
Such as yourself.
I already told you several times, I am here only to do my job. And if this job along the way is very, very profitable to some of us and very, very aligned with the causes of others, then I don't see a reason why not to work together. But this guy, and he points to the UNT, come on, look at him. Do you see any emotion in those eyes? Do you see any warmth in those hands? His mindset is totally alien to us. But as you said, you are in the position of power. I have made my case. And the dwarf says, come on, it's a dragon's lair, and we can rouse, we can make the guards go away, and then we can slick in and take everything. The dragon's lair, dragon's mountain of treasure. For all of us, we'll be rich.
Can't spend it when you're dead.
I would like Tal to, I don't know, because I feel like Roscoe might not want to do this, but I feel like Tal might be more willing to kill the drow at this point.
Okay, so I think maybe it's a good time to end the session and maybe have like the four of us, the four of you decide what to do next in the next
Sure,
session.
yeah, that's even better.
Yeah. Okay, great. So yeah, it was a short one today, but a lot of progress was made.
Okay, just I may or may not be able to join next week. Next Friday's my son's graduation from high school.
So you know what I think?
I'm not sure what's going on that morning. So
that's fine. I think that the same goes for me as well. I think it's like the end of school ceremony or something like that. So if it's not next week, then 2 weeks from there. And also we need, like, I have until the first days of July. Like my Fridays are free until the first days of July, and then we're probably going to take like an 8-week or 6-week time off because my family will be here on Fridays, and I have
okay.
Yeah, so we'll probably like take a break, a summer's break, and then we can return to the game.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Okay. So in this case, then let's meet the week after next. I will send a message in the Discord channel.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, guys. Thank you very, very much. Have a great week.
Thank you for the session.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Fun.
Bye.